Dear students, in the yesterday's class, we studied about different type of taxonomic aids. To remember, the first one is called as the herbarium. The second one is referred as the botanical garden. The third one is called as the zoological parks. Fourth one is the museum, and fifth one will be the key. So among the 5 type of taxonomic aids, we already studied about the above 4 type, that is the what herbarium means and what is its usage from the identification and classification of the different type of the plants. And next we studied about the botanical gardens. In that one, the famous botanical garden, we understand that actually that is the different type of plants and the trees are going to be grown or developed in that botanical garden for the purpose of identification and classification of different type of the species. So we also remember the famous botanical gardens. We know, so in West East London there is a Royal Botanical Garden. It is the biggest botanical garden in the world and very famous also. So in that we can get various type of different plants, trees, etc., etc. So then our country concerned, so that is one botanical garden, the National Botanical Garden. It is located in the Indian Botanical Garden. It is located in the Kolkata, we know. So Howrah anta helide. So Howrahದಲ್ಲಿ the Indian Botanical Garden is located. So then another one is nothing but the National Botanical Research Institution is there. So it is in Lucknow. After that we try to understand about, that is the zoological parks, where the wild animals are kept in the that is the environment. It has been under the supervision by the man. So in that the wild animals are going to be maintained in that environment, okay, protected environment. After that one, we understood about the next one, that is called as the museum. So museum, it is purely concerned with that is the preserved materials, just like in the jar specimens and like that one. So that may includes both the plants and as well the animals. When we visit that museum, we can get so many type of, that is the different plants and animals which are preserved condition. So next one is, that is the key. What is this key and theory? Key is also nothing but the one of the taxonomic aid. So this taxonomic aid will be make you to understand the different type of the plants and animals. So where it is all based on the similarities and dissimilarities. Regarding that one, I will write it. What is key ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳುವಂತ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇದೆ. So key ಅನ್ನೋದು ಏನಿದೆ, it is also a one type of taxonomic aid. Taxonomic aid to study about plants and animals. Plants and animals. Plants and animals based on the similarities and dissimilarities. Similarities and dissimilarities. So like that, it is going to be help us to understand about the different type of plants and animals. It is all purely based on the similarities and as well the dissimilarities among the different type of the plants and animals. Now, after understanding about this key as the one of the taxonomic aid, now shall move on to the next part, that is biological classification. Now let us start with the biological classification. So it is the chapter 2 in first PUC, biological classification. Now, first I would like to give some introduction about this biological classification. Remember, in the first chapter, that is living world, we understood something about this taxonomy. In that one, we try to understand about the taxonomic hierarchy, the definition of what is classification. Before that, that is prior to that one, we also understood about this binomial nomenclature means what. Okay, so to remember, the name of the person who first time introduced this term called binomial nomenclature was introduced by Carolus Linnaeus. He is the person till remembered and honored as the father of modern taxonomy. So ಈಗಿನ ಒಂದು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಾನಮಿಯ ಪಿತಾಮಹ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಕರಲಸ್ ಲಿನಿಯಸ್ ಅವರನ್ನು ನೆನಪು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ, ಸೊ ಹಿ ಇಂಟ್ರಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ದ term called species to the entire world. First time he coined that term called the species. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ there is a great contribution from Carolus Linnaeus in the field of classification and as well also the biology. Now, in the first step, I want to consider the one point regarding Carolus Linnaeus. Actually, what he did, Carolus Linnaeus, he is recognized as the father of taxonomy. Father of taxonomy. He considered only two kingdoms for his convenience. They are, just I want to say, so Carolus Linnaeus actually he classified the entire living world into only the two kingdoms. Andre ಕೇವಲ ಎರಡು ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಅವರು ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಟೂ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್. Two kingdom classification of organisms. Two kingdom classification of organisms. That is, ಯಾವ್ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಒಂದು just he considered kingdom Plantae. Kingdom Plantae. This kingdom Plantae, it includes all types of plants. All types of plants. Next, another one, kingdom Animaliae. Kingdom Animaliae. It includes all types of animals. It includes all types of animals. So ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಡೀ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕರ್ಲಸ್ ಲಿನ್ನೇಯಸ್ ಅವರ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕರ್ಲಸ್ ಲಿನ್ನೇಯಸ್ ಒಪಿನಿಯನ್, he just succeeded in making entire living world into two type of kingdoms. Among them, the first one is called the kingdom Plantae. In that one, irrespective of the different type of plants and plants, that is the different type of species among the plants, he simply dumped all type of plants into one group, and hence it is referred as a kingdom Plantae. Whereas kingdom Animaliae, in that one, he dumped all type of, that is the different type of animals have been kept under this group. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ, ಸೊ ವೆನ್ he framed the two kingdom classification, the risk is concerned with he failed to differentiate among the different type of plants and animals. ಯಾವ ಥರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಸಿ, ಸೊ ಕರ್ಲಸ್ ಲಿನಿಯಸ್ ಏನು ಟೂ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ this system did not, that is the distinguish between the prokaryotic and the eukaryotic type of organisms. It does not differentiate among that is the one prokaryotes versus that is eukaryotes. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯೂನಿಸೆಲ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ವರ್ಸಸ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಸೆಲ್ಯುಲಾರ್. The third point, he failed to differentiate between the photosynthetic versus non-photosynthetic. Photosynthetic, non-photosynthetic, unicellular, multicellular, prokaryotic, eukaryotic, ಈ ಯಾವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಅವರು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಶಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ಸ್ಮಾಲರ್ ಇರಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಬಿಗ್ಗರ್ ಇರಲಿ, ಯೂನಿಸೆಲ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಇರಲಿ, ಮಲ್ಟಿಸೆಲ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಆಗಿರಲಿ, ಪ್ರೊಕ್ಯಾರಿಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಆರ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ಯೂಕ್ಯಾರಿಯೋಟಿಕ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ವೆದರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥೆಟಿಕ್ ಆರ್ ನಾನ್ ಫೋಟೋ ಡಸಂಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್. ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿ when it is seems to be plant type, just he dump it into the kingdom plant. If the animal, it is of the animal line, simply he considered it and kept under the kingdom animalia. So it is not actually the right method of making a classification in the field of living world. So for that one, the next point I am going to discuss will be Mr. R.H. Whittaker. So now regarding R.H. Whittaker, I would like to tell something about his contribution in the field of classification. Just you see, R.H. Whittaker. R.H. Whittaker. Still he is recognized as he is the person belonging to the country Russia. R.H. Whittaker ಅವರು ರಷ್ಯಾದವರು. So in 1969 he framed one classification that is referred as the five kingdom classification. Five kingdom classification. It is one of the very popular type of classification so far. Okay, so R.H. Whittaker introduced in 1969 five kingdom classification to the world. So they are the kingdom that is Monera. Next, kingdom Protista. Third kingdom Mycota. It is nothing but the fungi. Kingdom Mycota. Next, fourth kingdom Plantae. And fifth kingdom, that is Animalia. Just you see, according to Carolus Linnaeus, only two kingdoms, kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. But he further introduced He means R.H. Whittaker further considered the remaining three new kingdoms by name Monero, Protista, and third one is the Mycota, nothing but the fungi. So totally the five kingdom classification got its own importance, and today it is one of the best and purely scientific based five kingdom classification, and he got succeeded in making an effective classification. Till today we are following the R.H. Whittaker's five kingdom classification nowadays. Okay, now what he considered for this one, what are the criteria he took into his account for making the five kingdom classification will be very simple. The main, that is the criteria for his classification, he considered as the one is the cell structure, the criteria for making five kingdom classification. Five kingdom classification. The criteria for making five kingdom classification by R.H. Whittaker will be, the first importance he given to the cell structure. Second one, callus organization. Callus organization. The third point he considered for his that is the five kingdom classification will be, that is the type of nutrition. Type of nutrition. Then the fourth one will be the method of reproduction. The method of reproduction. And fifth point he considered for his classification will be the phylogenetic method. Phylogenetic of that organism. And phylogeny ಅಂದರೆ the genetic character. The genetic character. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಟ್ರೀ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಟ್ರೀ. ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಟ್ರೀ ಅಂದರೆ ಕೇಳಿರ್ಬೋದು, ವಂಶವೃಕ್ಷ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಆನ್ಸೆಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಅದನ್ನ ಸ್ಪ್ಲಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಬಂದಾಗ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಬರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಟ್ರೀಯನ್ನು, ವಂಶವೃಕ್ಷವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಈ ಒಂದು ಫೀಲ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಫಿಲೋಜೆನಿಕ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲರ್ ನೌ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ತುಂಬ ಅಕ್ಯುರೇಸಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸಲ ಗ್ಲಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ದ ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯಾಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಫೈವ್ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದನೇದು ಈ ಗಿವನ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಟು ದ ಸೆಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಜೀವಕೋಶದ ಆಕೃತಿ, ರಚನೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ರಚನೆ ಆಗಿದೆ ಜೀವಕೋಶ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಥ್ಯಾಲಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಅನಿಮಲ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಇರಲಿ ಅದು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಅದೇನು ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಆಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದ, ಆರ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿ ಸೆಲ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಸೆಲ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್. ಥ್ಯಾಲಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ದ ಬಾಡಿ. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ದ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಫುಡ್, ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಫುಡ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಆದಂಥದ್ದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥೆಟಿಕ್ ಆರ್ ನಾನ್ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥೆಟಿಕ್ such type of things are going to be considered under this nutrition method. Okay, so green plants are photosynthetic, non-green ಮತ್ತು other than the plant structure remaining everything will be considered as the non-photosynthetic ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಚರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಬಿಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ. ಈ ಒಂದು ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೋದಾಗ ನಾವಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟನ್ನು ಕ್ಲಿಯರಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಟೂ